This video was made possible by Mizizi International, the official African diaspora clothing brand. Visit mizizishop.com for more information. There is no denying that China's increasing influence in Africa has become a focal point in global geopolitics, as it outpaces other superpowers in the race for economic and strategic dominance on the continent. Through extensive investments, infrastructure projects, and diplomatic efforts, China has solidified its grip on various African nations, fostering economic ties that go beyond traditional aid models. This has prompted other major powers, notably the United States and European nations, to engage in strategic maneuvering to counterbalance China's ascendancy. The competition for influence in Africa has evolved into a complex geopolitical chess game, with rival powers employing economic incentives, diplomatic initiatives, and regional partnerships to challenge China's sway and secure their own interests on the African continent. And now, in a stunning development, the United States and the European Union have jointly unveiled a multi-billion-dollar project known as the Lobito Rail Corridor to challenge China's firm grip on Africa. What is this Lobito Rail Corridor? How much will it cost? And who is building it? How will this corridor aid the US and the European Union in their quest to usurp China's near unrivaled dominance in Africa? In today's video, we will shed more light on these questions and many more. Before we dive into our topic today, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channels and ringing the bell to be notified about all our exciting future videos. On September 9, 2023, the United States and the European Union released a joint statement on their support for Angola, Zambia, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo's commitment to further develop the Lobito Corridor, connecting the Southern Democratic Republic of the Congo and northwestern Zambia to regional and global trade markets via the Port of Lobito in Angola. The statement said, "The partnership will combine financial resources and technical know-how to accelerate the Lobito Corridor development, including investments in digital access and agricultural value chains that will increase regional competitiveness." The statement also added that, as an immediate next step, the United States and the European Union will support the governments in launching pre-feasibility studies for the construction of the new Zambia-Lobito railway line from eastern Angola through northern Zambia. This builds on the initial US-led support to refurbish the railway section from the Lobito port in Angola to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Furthermore, the US and European Union expressed interest in assisting with finding investors for the project, which according to US government officials will cost more than $1 billion. This announcement was heralded by many as a key development in both the race for Africa's much sought-after minerals and the battle for Africa being fought between China and the West. The release of this joint statement from the US and European Union followed the Democratic Republic of Congo, Angola, and Zambia making public their intention to revive a trade route dating back to colonial times. This route, known as the Lobito Corridor, traces its roots back to the early 20th century when Belgium and Portugal collaborated to construct the railway tracks connecting Lobito in Angola with the copper-rich region of Katanga in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The construction spanned from 1902 to 1929, creating a vital transport link that facilitated the movement of resources and goods. However, the corridor faced a severe setback during the civil war that erupted in Angola following its independence in 1975. The conflict led to the collapse of the transport route, and for decades, it remained neglected and overshadowed by the geopolitical turbulence of the region. But in recent years, there has been a renewed interest in reviving the Lobito Corridor, driven by the joint efforts of the DRC, Zambia, and Angola, which collectively make up the Copper Belt. The primary motivation behind this revival is the desire to establish an alternative route for transporting minerals from the African Copper Belt to global markets. With the growing demand for various ores, particularly those critical to the energy transition market, such as cobalt, countries within the Copper Belt, like the DRC, have emerged as major players. Indeed, the DRC now accounts for over 2/3 of the world's cobalt production. As cobalt is a crucial component in the manufacturing of batteries for electric vehicles and other electronic products, the demand for these minerals has surged globally. However, these minerals from the copper belt are currently transported via trailers from the belt to Durban, South Africa, where they are loaded onto ships headed mainly for China. The journeys are long and arduous, and they limit market accessibility primarily to China. Therefore, the DRC, Angola, and Zambia want to revive the Lobito Corridor as a strategic move to shorten transportation distances, enabling them to diversify their markets and reduce dependency on a single destination, notably China. The motivations for reviving the Lobito Corridor on the part of Angola, Zambia, and the DRC are clear, but what is in it for the US and European Union? Experts say the Lobito Corridor's revival isn't just about infrastructure for the US and European Union. It's a strategic chess move on the African chessboard against China. China currently exerts significant control over the copper belt's supply chains, with over $1 billion invested in Angolan railways alone. Similarly, extensive Chinese mining projects in DRC and Zambia funnel a large portion of the belt's ores back to China. Thus, for the US and European Union, supporting the Lobito Corridor is a multi-pronged strategy to secure access to critical minerals like cobalt, crucial for electric vehicle batteries, diversifying their green energy supply chains, and lessening dependence on China. Support for the Lobito Corridor is also for economic leverage. Offering an alternative trade route to the European Union and US markets weakens China's grip on the copper belt's resources, potentially increasing competition and dragging down prices. Additionally, there's a geopolitical influence angle. By investing in Africa's infrastructure and offering an alternative economic partnership, the US and European Union aim to win over African nations, countering China's growing influence on the continent. While much remains to be done, the Lobito Corridor revival is picking up steam. The entire corridor consists of a 1,840-kilometer railway line stretching from the Angolan port city of Lobito to the border with the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, near Luo, and additional infrastructure like roads, an international airport for Lobito, an ore shipping terminal, and a dry port. Currently, only the Angolan section of the railway is operational, stretching 1,348 kilometers and boasting operational tracks, roads, the airport, and port infrastructure. However, the DRC side presents the true bottleneck due to dilapidated railways and lack of government investment. Nevertheless, positive progress is evident. A consortium led by Trafigura has secured operating rights, committing $500 million to upgrade rolling stock and infrastructure. Apart from US and European Union funding, the African Development Bank and World Bank have also pledged funding. If all goes according to plan, the revitalized corridor will be operational by 2035, transporting 3 billion tons of goods annually. Once the transportation infrastructure connecting all three countries is completely operational, the corridor will improve export opportunities for Zambia, Angola, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, increase regional trade, and facilitate citizen mobility. Also, travel time will reduce significantly because rail is faster than road. Compared to the month-long truck journey to Durban, the Lobito route promises speedy 8-day hauls, reducing the logistics costs and carbon footprint of exporting metals, agricultural goods, and other items, as well as future mineral discoveries. Speedy transport will also open up new markets and reduce reliance on Chinese dominance. Whether the US and European Union's backing for the Lobito Corridor will crack China's grip on Africa's minerals is a complex question. Undoubtedly, the competition generated by Western support for infrastructure projects such as the Lobito Corridor will introduce a new dynamic, giving China a run for its money and fostering alternative avenues for African nations to engage in global trade. However, in the evolving landscape of the scramble for Africa's resources, the next frontier may lie in support for locally added value. the ability of global superpowers to assist African countries in processing their minerals locally could become the pivotal factor in determining influence on the continent. Whoever can empower African nations to enhance the value of their resources within their borders may gain a decisive advantage, redefining the geopolitical competition in this vital arena. As the race unfolds, it remains to be seen which global power will emerge as the leader in facilitating the local processing of Africa's minerals and solidify its influence in this dynamic and critical region. Your perspective matters. What do you make of the Lobito Rail Corridor project being backed by the US and European Union? Share your insights and thoughts in the comments below. For continued updates on global affairs and diplomatic developments, be sure to subscribe to the New Africa channel. Stay informed, stay engaged. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more insightful content in the future.